and a 1 and a 2 and a buckle my shoe.
Modern day warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
One of the greatest tracks from one of the greatest bands with one of the greatest drummers of all time. Let's time correct Tom Sawyer by Rush with the great Neil Peart on drums. Next, on Music Surgery with Dr. Bob. I'll never forget when this album, Moving Pictures, came out. I was in high school and the cover alone had me at hello. Truly a great album experience. Every song is next level on its own, but also part of a full album narrative. The opening song on the album, Tom Sawyer, has gone on to be both a Rush classic and a classic rock classic. Bouncing between time signatures, classic synth lines, syncopated bass parts, trippy guitar landscapes, and arguably one of Neil Peart's greatest performances, Tom Sawyer is a masterpiece. From what I've read, at this point in Neil Peart's career, he enjoyed playing with a click track, and it's quite obvious that this song was recorded with a click around 88 beats per minute. Keep in mind the click tracks they used back then were not as accurate as the clicks now in the digital age. There will be tempo drifting between clicks in the digital age and click tracks from the 80s. Now, that being said, let's put Tom Sawyer into Cubase, cut it up, lock it to the grid, and see how perfect these guys played it by 2021 standards. Now, before we start, I know, this track was never meant to be perfect for perfect's sake. Let's just see how 2021 Perfect Time makes this track sound compared to Neil Peart's natural groove to a click. Okay, so here we go. Let's listen to the original version first. Even though we've all heard it, let's listen to it and get it in our head. Go.
A modern day warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride. Though his mind is not for rent, don't put him down as arrogant. His reserve a quiet defense, writing out the day's events.
Okay, as you see here, in orange is what I just played. Now, let's flip over to the edited version and play it. I think you're going to be surprised at how close this sounds, even though it's perfectly edited on the grid. As you can see, just quick tutorial for you that don't know, these are all different beats in the measure, and I've cut up the entire band and I've locked them to the grid, to the beats, so the timing is perfect. So here is the edited version. Let's hear how it sounds.
A modern day warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride. Though his mind is not for rent, don't put him down as arrogant. His reserve a quiet defense, writing out the day's events.
Okay, I know this was cut in the 80s, probably 81, 82, maybe 83. And I'm a drummer and I'm a producer, and I really can't tell much difference in this section of the song. It's unbelievable how great these guys played. Now, they did play to a click, but still, a click still enables you to have an interlope. And I think Neil Peart's interlope was almost perfect. Let me play you just his drum part, unedited. Now let me play you his drum part edited. Okay, I'm sorry, but that could have been just another take on the day that they recorded the song. His time is unbelievable. I mean, I can't believe how exact that is. Okay, here we are at the solo section. I've done the same thing, cut the band up here, and left them alone down here. Interesting about the solo section, as many times as I've heard this song, never really paid attention, but there's no bass in this section. It's drums, guitar, and keyboard. Anyway, here's the middle section, unedited, as they originally played it, weaving through these cool time signature changes. All right, so now that that's in your head, let's jump quickly to the same section, edited. Again, it's just, I'm actually trying to look to make sure that I've done this correctly. I can hardly tell a difference. These guys, I mean, Neil Peart's blowing my mind. Here he is again, unedited, on the middle section, soloed up. Pretty freaking steady. Here he is, edited. I mean, I promise you, I'm not doing anything here to fool you. You're actually hearing what you're seeing on the screen. Here we are in orange, the original,
cut up here. Let's listen to this iconic, famous section of Tom Sawyer where he's doing these incredible fills.
No, his mind is not for rent.
Okay, quickly, the edited version.
No, his mind is not for rent.
Unbelievable. I can hear more of a change in this section between perfect and actually played perfect like he did back then. The lope in some of the fills, which he played, sounds more real and human with more emotion, where the edited version sounds more like a drum machine. Obviously not Neil's fault. He played it exactly how he wanted, exactly how the band wanted, exactly how the producer wanted. Let's listen to Neil's section here, soloed up, unedited. Okay, same section, edited. It just goes to show you that, you know, so many of the musicians these days, and I've been guilty of it myself, play a part or a tricky part or anything in a song, and they think of it as, that's close enough. I can edit it. I can make it right. Because we have the tools to do that. These guys practiced and gave their life to an art because they had to play it right. Not only did they have to play it right, they had to come up with these parts, they had to practice these parts, they had to play together as a band, they had to perfect these songs, and then they had to go into the studio under the microscope and do it again. And that's a lost art.
My staff and I are in constant fear of botching a case, so malpractice insurance can be quite costly. But if you hit subscribe below, which is free, you can help us a great deal and in turn be notified every time an episode of Music Surgery with Dr. Bob hits YouTube. Thanks for watching, and pass the salsa. What? Well, there you have it. These guys are master musicians, and digital editing didn't help Rush sound better at all. I gotta admit though, it doesn't sound as drastic at all compared to what I thought it would. The fact that they did play to a click though does close the gap between 80s standards and today's perfect time corrected standards. One huge thing I took away from this was Neil Peart has always been known for his extreme rock technique, difficult drum fills and arrangements, and flurries of complex single-stroke tom rolls. This track though is absolute proof that Neil totally had his time and groove game together as well. Much of this song is a straight-ahead 16th note groove, and if Neil didn't have that aspect of his playing drilled, all that fancy stuff in 7/8 and all the great fills after the solo wouldn't have mattered. Well, that's it. Another group of master musicians shows us they don't need our help or digital editing in 2021. Thanks for watching this week. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you the next time the doctor's in.